Welcome to the Dray Report. Yes, that's right. It's no longer the Dray way. It's now the Dray Report. I just think it goes a little bit better with what I'm doing. So from now on, the show has changed. The name anyway. It is now called the Dray Report. So welcome to the Dray Report. I'm glad you're here. I am Dreyton. I am your host. And let me tell you something. We have a lot to talk about. But one thing I want you to know for sure on this show is you're going to get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me. So I'm really glad you're here. Let's get the show started. Let's go! Welcome to the Dray Report. I'm going to try to fix my tongue and talk better. I've got a lot to talk about today, and for some of you that have written me and said, "Hey, you're in Vegas. We'd like to see Vegas in the background." I hear you loud and clear. We'll be doing that at the end of next week. I'll be walking you around Vegas, and some of you want to see it, so I'm going to give my audience what they want. I noticed that on YouTube, a lot of people used videos and all this other things. You guys tell me you don't want to see videos. Let me know if you just want to see my mug or if you want me to include more videos of Vegas, because if you want to see that while I'm talking, instead of seeing my face, just say so. I'm trying to make the show better, and I'm trying to make it better for you. And if better for you means not seeing my face and seeing highlights of Vegas and buildings and slot machines or whatever it is, just say so. But I've been doing it this way because it's how I'm comfortable, and I feel like I can talk to you easier if we're kind of looking at each other. I know it's kind of weird, right? But anyway, what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about the absolute disaster that was yesterday. I don't even know what to call it, but Trump looked like Putin's little bitch the entire time. And Trump got absolutely nothing. I don't think Donald Trump understands this guy is at war, killing women and children, and you just put out a red carpet for him. Can you explain to me what that's about? Can you explain to me why you put out the red carpet for a known murderer? I'm curious, because that just absolutely blew my mind. That they were worried about putting a red carpet out for this man. And you talk about someone that doesn't deserve any such treatment whatsoever. But Putin had to be sitting there going, I'm not going to give this guy anything. And he's got red carpets and bombers flying over and everything. And I don't give a shit. I'm just showing up to show everybody that Russia still means something. That I can still command the United States to meet with me. Russia ain't shit, folks. Russia ain't shit. It's not. California has a bigger GDP than all of Russia. The entire continent of the entire country of Russia. California is a bigger deal. Yeah. So what was accomplished yesterday? Absolutely nothing. Just Donald Trump walking around strangely and walking funny, to be honest with you. God, he looks old. Can't we just agree not to put 80-year-old people in the presidency anymore? Why do we have to have 80-year-olds as president? I think it's a bad look. I think it makes the United States look very weak and very bad. And Trump looks very bad. I don't know if you've noticed, but he looks sick. And I don't know how much longer he can go. I can't imagine him still being a globetrotter and flying around the world next year and the year after that. I mean, folks, when you get into your 80s, life is different. Life is different in your 80s. Trust me when I tell you. I've taken care of enough people in their 80s to tell you, you get older and, things change with each 50 and 60 and 70. But 80 is no joke anymore. 80 is your body starting to expire. 80 is when you really start feeling old. And that is the wrong time to have somebody as the president and leader of the free world. You don't want your leader old and frail, and that's what Donald Trump looks like anymore. Just an old, frail guy that just says crazy stuff that doesn't even make sense. Like the other day, the countries are paying trillions of dollars in tariffs. No. Countries aren't paying $1. You know how much China's paid in tariffs? Nothing. Germany, nothing. France, nothing. Pick a country. Canada, nothing. Australia, nothing. Countries don't pay the tariffs. We do. U.S. businesses that bring in the goods, they pay the tariff. And then they go, it cost me more. I'm going to turn that on to the customers. And you end up paying more. If you don't believe me, go look at beef prices. Beef that is now coming in from Brazil. Oh, yeah. If you want a $30, $40 steak at the grocery store, they're all over the place now. Something I never used to see. Now it's everywhere. $30, $40, $50 steaks everywhere. And that's because of tariffs and beef from Brazil. So afterwards, what could Trump do but take questions? Take questions on what? Mr. President, are you leaving here with nothing? Yep, I am. He's agreed to absolutely nothing. Ceasefire ain't happening. What about what I said that it would be done the minute I became president or even before yeah, none of that's true. None of anything I said before the election is true. Nothing, not a single word. Because everything he said before the election has just been one lie after another. And here Putin is walking around with the president of the United States like Russia matters. Russia doesn't matter at all. Their economy is in shambles. Their country is in absolute shambles. And we're supposed to give this guy a platform? It was ridiculous. It was sad. And what this was supposed to accomplish, what this was supposed to do, I don't understand. I don't understand it at all. But it was a complete flop, a complete failure. It was great for Russia. It was great for Putin. Putin gets to go, hey, look what they did for me. They put out the red carpet. They had a bomber flying over my head. They think I'm really important. He shouldn't have been given any of that stuff. Absolutely nothing. Tell me what you think. Let me know what you think. Was that whole thing worth anything to you? Because it accomplished absolutely nothing. He got absolutely nothing out of it. Oh, I'm going to Alaska. I'm going to, and he better do this. He better do that. You know what Putin told him? I can tell you exactly what Putin probably told him. He said, Trump, you and I both know I'm going to do what I want to do, and you're going to leave me alone. You and I both know that. So why are we here? That's what he told the president. And the president said, well, you really need it. He goes, I really need to do nothing. What else do you got for me? What else do you want to talk about? And then they started talking about other stuff because I'm sure Putin put him down immediately and said, you will tell me nothing. And I will listen to nothing you have to say. Because I'm sure a fat old Donald Trump doesn't scare a KGB agent at all. I mean at all. Not even a little. Let me know what you think in the comments. Welcome to the Dray Report. I am so glad you're here. Hit the subscribe button. There's a new Dray Report each and every day, and I want to make sure you're here. Don't go anywhere. Part 2 to the Dray Report coming up next. Well, here it is. I can report here in Las Vegas that food banks are struggling. The demand is huge here in Vegas. And guess what? Because of the cuts of the federal government, food banks are struggling to have enough goods to provide people. It's not just a problem here in Vegas. It's a problem that's starting to exist all around the country. In Tennessee, in Florida, in Texas, in Alabama. Huge food shortages at the food banks because the funding And now the farmers are struggling as well. You have to understand, a lot of local farmers are responsible for giving food to those food banks and providing food for those food banks and getting dollars from the federal government. Those dollars come down and they go to the farmers, the local farmers that provide food for the local area. But that's all been cut. So what do you think is starting to happen? It's starting to have a huge effect here in Vegas. And when I look around the country, state after state after state is complaining about the exact same thing. They're having a hard time. And the lines keep getting longer and longer and longer for food. And we're not even into the winter season yet. How do you think this is going to play out in October, November, December? This is going to be a real struggle, and we're not talking about it. No one's talking about food insecurity. And right now, there are millions. Listen to what I'm saying. There are millions of people in the United States going to bed hungry. Millions. Right here in the United States going to bed hungry. Why? Why is that a thing? And why is it about to get a lot, and I mean a lot worse? I'm reporting on it now. I'm talking about it here in August. But I promise you, come October and November, it's going to be everywhere. It's going to be on the news everywhere because people are going to be hungry. People right now are choosing between, do I pay the electric bill? Do I pay this bill? Or do I buy food? Because now when you go to the grocery store, it's no joke. Everybody's got a plan now. Everybody's got, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this, and this is going to make these meals, and I can do this with this. Everybody's starting to have a specific plan because you have to. Because food has just gotten out of hand. And now you have increased energy bills, increased insurance bills, a lot of layoffs. People are struggling. The struggle is for real. But how sad is it that in America, millions, and I'm not talking about a few million, I'm talking about millions and millions and millions and millions of people across the country are food insecure. They don't know where their next meal is going to come from. They're going to bed hungry. What are we doing to ourselves when we allow billionaires, multiple billionaires to have tens of billions of dollars, billions and billions and billions, more money than they could ever do anything with? We allow them to have all this money. And yet we have so many here in America that are literally going to bed hungry tonight. They're going to bed with less food than what they need. And no one is saying a word about it. But I can see it already in the food banks locally here. The food banks locally here are already struggling. And the lines are getting bigger, not smaller. They're getting bigger. And people that have never in their life stepped foot in a food bank are doing it for the very first time. And for some, it's devastating. It's devastating because they never thought it would be them. I never thought this would happen to me. But here we are in the United States with millions and millions and millions of people across the country wondering where their next meal is going to come from. So I'm asking you right now, what do we do? What should we do? Because already the federal government has said we're going to do less. So if the federal government's going to do less, what are we going to do? What are we going to do to help people make sure they don't starve? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think we should do. What's the solution? Because this government, this Republican government, they have no answers. And that's what many of you voted for. You voted for an administration that has no answers. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't go anywhere. Part 3 to the Dray Way coming up next. The Dray Report. See, I corrected myself. The Dray Report. Welcome back to the Dray Report. And listen, the last thing I want to talk about is what I've been talking about. I've been talking about the stock market because I believe in the stock market. The stock market may be at a high. It may be due for a correction. All of those things may be true, but it's time to get involved. It's time to get involved in the stock market. I said it a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and I was right every single time. Get involved with the stock market. And my friends at Stash, I provide the link. Get your own Stash account and start small. The great thing is, with as little as $10, you can start your Stash account, and Stash is going to give you another $50 to get you going. And you can start investing just like me in Nvidia, Costco, Block, Netflix, DoorDash. You can be investing, even if it's just, you may say to yourself, Drayton, I only have an extra $10 or $20 or $30, whatever it is. I started with my first stock. I bought my first stock with $50 back in the mid 70s. And I saved that $50 from my paper route. And let me tell you something, in the mid 70s, $50 was a lot of money. A lot of money. I mean, and I had it in a $50 bill too, because I wanted the biggest bill I could get. And a $50 bill back in the mid 70s, woo! I was rich. I was rich. I was rich. I was rich. But the main thing I've learned since the 70s, and it's carried me through my life, is it doesn't matter if it's $20 here, $50 there, $30 there. It all compounds. It all grows. And the U.S. stock market has grown it year after year after year after year without fail. I have done extremely well in the stock market over the years because I've been consistent. I've been consistently putting a little away. Thousands of dollars? No, but 50 here, 100 there. And before you know it, it just keeps building and building and building. And if you invest in good companies like Nvidia, like Costco, like DoorDash, if you invest in good, solid companies that are the best at what they do, you're going to do well. You're going to do well. So I want everybody to get your Stash account. If you don't have an account, get a Stash account. Get $50 put in your account and start trading with me, because we are going to start talking about lots of stocks, particularly over the winter. Summer's about to be over. We'll be talking a lot about the stock market and what stocks to look for and why. And I always think gold and silver is a good thing to have. We'll talk more about that. In prior shows, I've talked about gold, and gold keeps going higher and higher and higher. So that's it for the Dray Report. Thanks for joining me for the Dray Report. Don't forget, there's a new Dray Report each and every day. So don't forget to hit the like button. That's very important. It really helps me out. And please subscribe to the show. I'm trying to get to 100,000, and I can't do it without your help. So thanks for stopping by. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow on the Dray Report. Have a great day, everybody.
Watch this. I can do it. Let's go!
No, good. He does it better. Much better.